opportunities like this one, especially those that are free, don't come around all too often in life.
And some of these success stories have been amazing. I think it helps to illustrate the value of this giveaway.
Then you're definitely going to want to listen closely to this next part, because this could be your way to join. Welcome to the Dropship Unlocked podcast. I'm Lewis Smith, the founder of Dropship Unlocked, and with me is our client success coach, James Erdley. Now, when we're not recording the podcast episodes, we're running our own e-commerce businesses and helping aspiring entrepreneurs launch their own high-ticket dropshipping businesses. Keen to build your own 6 or even 7-figure business? My book, The Home Turf Advantage, is your blueprint for launching a profitable online store. Grab your copy at htabook.com today and let's get you started. Now sit back, relax, and let's unlock your potential with the Dropship Unlocked podcast.
Welcome to a very special episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast. Today, I'm excited to announce that we will be opening a competition where somebody has an opportunity, a lucky listener, to join our Masterclass community. So it's not something we've ever done before, but if you're listening to the episode today, you'll understand exactly how you can enter and why we believe this to be such a valuable prize.
That's right. So this is the first time we've ever done this type of giveaway, and I'm excited to be able to give away what is a pretty life-changing opportunity to one of our very lucky listeners. So if you're listening to this right now and you'd like to be part of all of this, well, you can, and it will cost you nothing. And in this episode, we're going to explain exactly how you can take part. So the Masterclass community is like our elite training camp for e-commerce entrepreneurs. It's where we take action takers and help them create their e-commerce businesses and turn what were just their dreams of becoming an e-commerce entrepreneur into reality. So we offer constantly updated, on-demand training resources. We've got live expert calls twice per week. So it's a dynamic learning experience and it's tailored to today's e-commerce world. So we've got step-by-step guidance and it allows our members to stay ahead of the game, keeping a high profit and low maintenance e-commerce business up and running.
It's really exciting, Lewis. I'm genuinely excited to see who we can bring on board into the Masterclass community to work alongside. So we'll go into the details now. So we both know what it takes to build 7-figure e-commerce businesses. We know the work that's involved, and we know the value of support and collaboration that will really speed up this journey. So talk to me a little bit about the value of the Masterclass program and how you think it can accelerate success for people that want to have their own business and be lifestyle, have a lifestyle business that allows them time, location, and financial freedom.
Well, when you're surrounded by like-minded entrepreneurs, that collective wisdom that you get from everyone's shared experiences, it just elevates everyone's game. You know the saying that a rising tide lifts all the boats? Well, think of the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass community as that kind of trusted panel of advisors that you need as an entrepreneur, because when you go out on your own, you need that board of directors, that group of trusted advisors that you can help, who can help you with any challenges that you face, which you will face many along your way. And you've always got those people ready to provide insights or perhaps just even a different perspective that you haven't considered when you hit those inevitable roadblocks or blind spots along the way. So we've seen members collaborate on different projects, launch stores together, share insights on how they signed suppliers, how they deal with certain issues that arise within their businesses, and even just celebrate each other's wins and help each other with strategies, whether it's advertising, whether it's marketing, whether it's emails, whether it's hiring a virtual assistant. So it's great to see such teamwork in action, and it really is a special place, that community.
It really is. It's alive. You don't just get access to a program and then you're thrown the program and you never hear from us again. It's not like that at all. It's a completely live thing. As soon as you're in that community, you get it straight away and you understand that, okay, now I'm around the hundreds of entrepreneurs I wouldn't otherwise be able to access and get all in one place. And now I can just go back and forth with them about the journey that you're about to take, because they've all been through that same journey and you've got people that are ahead of you. The place is alive with support, but also celebrating success. And it really builds up momentum after you go into the community. You get the energy from the community and realize that people are making moves every day to grow these incredible businesses. And some of these success stories have been amazing. I think it helps to illustrate the value of this giveaway, Lewis. So take us through some of the sort of first names that come to your mind when you think about the success stories we've had through the Dropship Unlocks Masterclass.
Yeah, it brings it to life, doesn't it, when you put real people's case studies and names behind it. So, I mean, we have got hundreds now of fantastic members, and we've got more joining us every single day, which just makes our community stronger. Every time someone joins us, they can add more to the community, help others. It grows that collective entrepreneurial, like hive mind, hive brain, So it's a great community. But a few specific stories that spring to mind as of recently. And one of our recent joining members, Phil, so he joined us and was starting from scratch with his dropshipping business. And within 4 months, Phil had generated over £100,000 thanks to the strategies and the support he received. So that was a really good story. We had a podcast recently where we featured Phil, so that's worth a listen as well. And another one that springs to mind that shows what's possible in such a short time frame as well, especially with no prior experience, was Dropship Unlocked member Suraj. So Suraj started working with us in the masterclass, and he hit £12,000 in sales in just his first 2 months. And that was from a completely cold start as well. So great to see the results he had. And then there's Tay. Tay generated £30,000 in her first 4 months, which was amazing to see. And Sue recently made over £2,000 in sales within her first couple of weeks of running ads as well. So really, really nice set of stories. And obviously the one that always springs to mind for me is one of our earlier members, actually, Jared. Now, he generated £4 million in sales since joining the program. So that was an amazing story. And in fact, we actually shared his full case study in episode 39 of the Dropship Unlocks podcast. So you can watch that one if you're interested. But the important thing to note about those stories, they're not just the financial success stories, but they're about personal growth and the confidence that comes with it. That's one of the most powerful things that we see, is that personal development and growth from members in our program. We've met these people as well. Like, we've chatted to them in person at our live Dropship Unlocked meetups, and they really are all great people. So I guess that's the kind of caliber we're aiming for when we're selecting members to join our program. And if you think that you would fit that group and you've got the same type of a winning attitude as they do, then you're definitely going to want to listen closely to this next part, because this could be your way to join them.
Yeah, let's dive in now. How can people actually enter the competition and join that list of incredible names of people that have changed their lives through growing one of these businesses?
So we made it really simple, and it's completely free as well. The first thing that we ask you to do is just leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform and take a quick screenshot. So it can be wherever you listen to us, leave us a 5-star review and just take a quick screenshot of that. Step 2 is then share the Dropship Unlocked podcast via your social media. So whether that's your Instagram story, or if it's your Facebook story, or Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, wherever you're hanging out, just share a post, and please make sure when you share that post, tag us at Dropship Unlocked so that we see it. And then finally, step 3, simply email the screenshots of your review and social media post to podcast@dropshipunlocked.com. The reason we ask you to email it to us is just so that we can see who you are and that you've actually done it. And then that way we can enter you into the competition. So it's as simple as that. Costs you nothing. You can do it right here in about 30 seconds. If you want to rewind the episode, you can listen to those instructions again. And that alone is your entry ticket into this. Those simple 3 steps could be worth not just your enrollment fee into the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass, but the business that you then build off the back of that. Think of that, how that could change your life forever, and the value behind just taking those 3 simple free actions that you can do in about 30 seconds. Now, opportunities like this one, especially those that are free, don't come around all too often in life. So if you're listening to this and maybe you're thinking, I'd never win that, there's no point in me entering, I might as well not bother. Just ask yourself for a moment, how many other people listening to this do you think might be thinking the same thing as you right now? So what if you took the 30 seconds that it takes and you actually bothered to follow this? That could be enough to set you apart and would grant you a free entry ticket into our competition.
Yeah, so take the action, just 3 steps, and you'll be entered into the competition with a chance of being selected to join the Dropship Unlocked Masterclass. So a few small steps and you'll be in with a chance to win. So Lewis, for people that are going to enter, they're going to take that step, they're ready to join up and they want to have a chance to win. What does the Masterclass actually involve?
Well, yeah, winning and the full access to our 6-week Masterclass mentorship program is significant. And I'll cover kind of everything that's covered within the Masterclass. So everything from mindset to foundations to getting up and running, making sales, and to eventually outsourcing your business so that you can gain complete financial and time freedom is covered. So we'll go through it. Week 1 of the program is your foundations and mindset. So once you go through this week, you'll have all of the right infrastructure in place, both mentally, so your mindset will be on track, but also physically to set you up for success into the future. So that's things like registering your limited company, getting your business bank account set up, getting all of the systems and processes in place, ready to go, so we can hit the ground running in week 2. Now, week 2 is deciding which products to sell. Then once you have your niche selected and you're confident that it's backed up with data, then week 3 is about building your new online store. So by going through the over-the-shoulder tutorial videos in this week, by the end of week 3, you'll have an amazing looking store, even if you've never built one before, that ticks all of the boxes and is ready to start generating you sales. And it will even look great to suppliers, which is helpful because in week 4, that's where we're going to start showing you how to sign your UK-based suppliers. So that means by the end of week 4, you'll have high quality UK-based suppliers signed up, many of whom can offer next day delivery to your customers, which is amazing. And most importantly, these are reputable and extremely profitable suppliers for you. So you'll be really confident in what to say to them, how to approach them, because you'll have all of the supplier contact scripts that we give you and the step-by-step guidance on how to approach them, what to say, how to overcome any objections they may have, all from tried and tested experience. But then once you have your store built, your suppliers signed, and it's time for week 5. So that's where we help you make your first online high-ticket sales. So by the end of week 5, you'll have your ad campaigns up and running and live, and you can start to generate your first few high-ticket sales. So if, for example, you made your first sale for £2,000, so a £2,000 product at a 30% profit margin, that's £600 in profit that you could then reinvest back into more advertising or scaling up your business, hiring a virtual assistant, or even just taking it out and paying yourself that amount. The choice is yours at that. Which takes us on to week 6. Now, week 6 is all about unlocking your freedom. So at this point, you've built a business, you're making sales, you're making profit, and you are the CEO of your business. But we want to help you go from CEO to company owner, so that by the end of week 6, you've used all of our guides on how to outsource processes in your business, how to hire and train a virtual assistant so that you have complete freedom over your time and you can step back from the day-to-day operations in your business. And so you just have a business that generates you sales on autopilot wherever you are in the world and hardly takes up any of your time. So that's all in on-demand training videos. We've got 30 plus hours worth of over-the-shoulder tutorial screen share content. Plus, on top of that, we've got our 2 weekly Q&A calls where you can jump on Zoom and ask any questions of us live. And then perhaps the biggest part of this whole thing is our amazing community. So this is where you'll be surrounded by hundreds of other aspiring, successful entrepreneurs who are willing you on and supporting you on your journey. So that's what you're getting. And we will be announcing the winner in just 3 weeks from the release of this episode. So don't hang around. And by the way, if you're watching or listening to this later than 3 weeks after the release of the episode, we'll continuously be providing free spaces into the masterclass to reviewing podcast listeners. So if you enter this competition, you could still be in with a chance to win. So this will be done at random intervals after the initial winner is picked 3 weeks after the release date of this episode. So make sure you enter today for your chance to win. And by the way, if you're already a member of the masterclass, you can absolutely still take part in this, still follow the 3 steps. And if you win and you're selected, we'll just send you back your investment that you paid already for joining the program.
So key points there. So 3 weeks is not time to hang around. Definitely jump on that and give yourself the opportunity. And even if you're past that initial first 3 weeks, as Lewis said, at random intervals, we'll be announcing new winners and new places into the Masterclass community for people who have completed the 3 steps that Lewis has outlined. So I'm excited to get these people on board and to really watch their journeys, because the value of this giveaway isn't I don't see it as actually the price of, the fee of joining the community, the investment that you make when you join the Masterclass. The value is actually the business that you build. And it's there's multiple people in the community that have made 6-figure, 7-figure businesses from the Masterclass training and the community that's created there. So the value is immense. And I'm so glad that we're able to give away this opportunity for people who may not have joined otherwise. But still, if you are already in the Masterclass, don't let this put you off. It's another way you can still win, because we want people to be winners if you leave reviews and share the podcast. So some of the key learning sort of potential you've outlined there with the 6-week program, but what are some of the things that you noticed that people really mention that they really enjoyed learning from the Masterclass community?
Yeah, some of the most beneficial aspects that our members who do join the program tell us is really just going from zero and no prior experience to having a profitable online e-commerce business up and running for the first time ever in the space of 6 weeks, covering everything from the mindset required to succeed as an entrepreneur through to niche selection and using our data-driven criteria system to select a group of winning products to sell, to building your store, even if you've never built an e-commerce website before, signing those UK suppliers, knowing what to say to them, knowing how to make sure you get it right the first time and you don't burn any of your bridges by saying any of the wrong things, and then eventually making sales on autopilot with advertising and outsourcing the business so that you can have your time back. So it really is designed to take you from ambition and wanting to start a business, but perhaps not having any experience, right through to having a foundation set up for a successful e-commerce business. So we go really deep on some advanced strategies as well, ensuring that our members are not just starting a business, but they're scaling it effectively as well. So we're constantly updating modules, keeping it live, and making sure you are on the cutting edge of e-commerce.
Absolutely. My goal as the client success coach within the community is to make as many members of the program as successful as possible. And that's what we strive to do every day and every week when we announce new modules and bring new additions to the program. So we've mentioned as well about the community and the benefit of being around like-minded people. What would you say about that for people? What sort of opportunity do people have to get around a like-minded community?
The community is a goldmine for networking, for offering opportunities to connect with other seasoned entrepreneurs and newcomers as well. It's just a great way to build relationships. And some of the connections that are created inside that community lead to eventual collaborations and partnerships and even friendships, all really valuable in that entrepreneurial journey, because it can be a lonely path to go on alone. The other thing is the community collaboration calls we have. So this is in addition to our twice weekly question and answer coaching calls. We have collaboration calls which allow other members to exchange ideas and challenges and opportunities. So they've been a great addition recently as well.
They have. It's all part of the community coming to life. And we've seen things such as people offering private Zoom calls with each other within the memberships to help each other get over certain obstacles. We've seen people giving us free actual courses and modules within the program that they've created, things that they've learned while building an e-commerce business. They've recorded themselves doing it, and we've added it into a extra resources section of the program, which we're going to be building out now over the next few months and years. And that, again, it just shows that there's going to be a constant evolving learning that people can pick up. We've also had those community collaboration calls where people are just jumping on, explaining what they've learned recently, maybe highlighting a recent tool that they found really beneficial, asking others about how they think they can get the most out of it. And it's all a fantastic position where everyone just shares the learnings that they've had over the last few weeks and months of building the same type of business as each other. The community keeps growing, and so does the program and the wealth of knowledge that's inside the community. So what do you think are some of the key resources and the tools that are available as part of the Masterclass?
Well, members get access to over 30 hours of on-demand, step-by-step training videos. So they come from both you and I, James. These are updated regularly to make sure that we're staying on the cutting edge of e-commerce. And as James mentioned as well, we've now got our member-generated content being added into the program as well, which just adds a whole new dimension to what's available. We've then got, as well as the video modules, we've got tools that you get given. So these are things like supplier contact templates and scripts for different parts of your website, policy pages, about pages, checklists to make sure that you're compliant and your ad account is safe before you go live with your store, and making sure that you're tracking your profit and your bookkeeping. Sounds boring, but it's really important, and it's specific to UK businesses so that we're taking into account VAT and corporation tax and making sure that you've set aside enough cash in your business to thrive and to scale successfully. So we give you all of those tools and checklists and templates as part of the program. And then aside from the training and the tools for success, you've then got the customized support. So these are the resources tailored to you to address your specific needs. So these are the live Q&A calls where you can jump on live and ask any questions one-to-one in that group setting environment about anything that you need to get past any roadblocks, challenges, ideas, and you can either get feedback from us or on the collaboration call, feedback from other members in the community as well. So all in all, it really is a comprehensive package.
It is, and it's a pleasure to be a part of, especially now once you've made a business and you're up and running and you've left a job in the position that I'm in. It's great to give back and see others achieve the same success. So for people that are part of the masterclass, what is the commitment involved in terms of time to get a business up and running?
Yeah, there are kind of 3 different tracks that we created recently, and we've introduced member progress trackers as well. So you've got your 6-week, your 9-week, 12-week program. Now they're all the same content, but the deadline's just a little bit closer together depending on how much of a sprint you want it to be. So we'd expect members to be able to dedicate around 14 hours per week, especially in those initial months when they're getting up and running, just to truly benefit from the program. Ultimately, you're building your own business, so what you put into it is what you're going to get out. The other thing is participation. Engage with the community, attend the calls. There's a direct correlation between the people who we see achieving the highest results and those who attended the calls and use the live calls and the live meetups and the collaboration calls. So make sure that you're applying the lessons, but then also showing up to those calls and chipping in as and where you can to both add value, but also ask questions if you need to. And then finally, our program is for those who are committed to seeing real results, both in learning and in actual business growth as well. So if you're tired of searching around on YouTube or doing all of these conflicting programs that you might see out there, and you just want a proven blueprint for how to do this properly in the UK, that's what we created.
It's designed for people who are serious and really want to see success with an e-commerce business in the UK. So let's recap. Finally, how can people enter this competition to give themselves a chance to win a spot in the masterclass?
So there's 3 really simple steps to take part. Step 1, leave us a 5-star review on your favorite podcast platform. Once you've done that, just take a screenshot on your phone. Step 2, share the Dropship Unlocked podcast on your social media, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are active. Just make sure when you share the podcast, you tag us at Dropship Unlocked. And finally, step 3, just so that we know it's you, send over the screenshots of your review and your social media post over to podcast@dropshipunlocked.com in an email. It costs you nothing but 30 seconds of your time, and this is your entry ticket to win access to everything we just went through. We'll be announcing the lucky winner in just 3 weeks from the release date of this podcast episode, and all the details for accessing the masterclass for the winner. And remember, if you join us anyway and you win this competition, then you'll get your program investment back, and we'll be making new winners continuously after the release of this episode. So if you're after the 3 weeks and you're listening to this, absolutely don't miss the chance to transform your life. It's still worth entering.
Enjoying the podcast? We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment or a review, and we might just feature it on an upcoming episode. Also, for detailed show notes and resources, head to dropshipunlocked.com/podcast.
If you found value from any episode of this podcast, please take just 10 seconds to leave us a quick 5-star review on your podcast app of choice. It helps us more than you could imagine, and who knows, you might just hear your comments on the show. Thanks for being part of our community. Your support helps us keep delivering a new episode every week.
Now, let's answer some questions that we've had in from listeners of the podcast, and they are related to the Masterclass program that we provide. So it's going to be really helpful with people that are on the edge and leaving a review and entering this competition. So we've had questions in. So remember, if you want questions answered on the podcast, all you need to do is comment underneath the YouTube video of this episode or any episode that you're listening to. And the first question we've had, Lewis, I'll pose it across to you now. So Jason has asked, can anyone achieve success with the Masterclass program?
Absolutely, Jason. Yeah, the Masterclass is designed for individuals from all walks of life, regardless of their prior knowledge in e-commerce. You know, I talked about some of our success case studies from recently. They all had completely different backgrounds. We've seen people from teachers to tradespeople achieving remarkable success with this. So it's not about where you've come from. It's about the steps you take, and it's about taking action and applying the process, not your background. So don't let that put you off. Everybody's journey is unique, and the program caters to individual needs. So it ensures that everybody has the tools they need to succeed. So yeah, absolutely. If you follow the steps, then you can still see success with it.
Great question, Jason. Yeah, it surprised me all the time about the different backgrounds that we have, that people join us in the Masterclass and still the positions they get to, no matter what background they've had. So second question for you, Lewis, is in from Sarah, and she's asked, simply, how difficult is it?
It's simple. So in that sense, it's not difficult, but it's not easy. So it's straightforward, Sarah, but it's not insurmountably difficult. The program breaks down complex concepts into just manageable step-by-step actions that you can take. But you have to take those steps. And that's the bit where it's simple. We can lay out the steps, but I'm not saying it's easy. You still have to do it. If you're building a business that's going to eventually replace your income and allow you to live anywhere in the world, then if it was easy, everybody would be doing it, right? But with our continuous support and the community at your fingertips, you're never alone in the process, which significantly then eases the journey for you. So your success is directly tied to your commitment to it. The more you put in, the more manageable and rewarding it becomes as well. So hopefully that answers that one for you, Sarah.
Perfect. Thank you, Lewis. Next question is in from Mo, and Mo has asked, how much time will I need to commit?
Mo, I'd say that initially you should be prepared to commit around 14 to 15 hours per week, especially in the first few months. You want to lay a solid foundation for your business in that state. I know many of our members balance this initially with full-time jobs before they have replaced their incomes and they're safe to quit their jobs. So that's about smart time management. It's not just the hours spent, but it's like if you can only put in 2 or even 1 hour per day, how are you going to manage that time most effective? Over time, as your business grows, you'll find ways to streamline and reduce the hours whilst maintaining your progress as well. And eventually you can hire a virtual assistant who will massively reduce your time input. But the thing that I always say, Mo, that is worth considering is once you're up and running in a year from now and you've replaced your income and you have a business that's running on autopilot, are you going to look back and think, damn, I wish I'd built it in 6 weeks instead of 12 weeks? It's going to pale into insignificance at that point. So don't worry too much about the timeline. It's about consistent daily actions. It's not about a race to get it up and running, because that won't matter when it eventually is.
Great point. And you'll look back on it with pride, no matter how long it takes, because you'll be in a position that you're really grateful to be in. So next question for you, Lewis, is in from Sadie. And Sadie has asked, how much money do I need to start?
Thanks for the question, Sadie. So the financial investment required is relatively low compared to traditional businesses because you're primarily investing into the website setup, the initial marketing, and obviously the mentorship program. But you're not going out and spending hundreds of thousands of pounds on leasing a new premises or hiring a load of staff or getting huge business loans. So we guide our members on cost-effective strategies to start and scale up as well, making it accessible for most people. So I'd always recommend, with any kind of business venture like this, having a safety net of at least a few £1,000s available to you before you start any kind of business. Because if I was in a position where I didn't currently have that available, then at this point, all of my focus and effort would be directed towards saving up to be in that position. So that when I do make the leap eventually, I'm well prepared and ready to go. So if that means that in the short term, I just need to take on a few extra hours at work, or perhaps change my job role, or take on an extra job as well, do some other hours, then that's short-term pain that I'm willing to go through to set me up for a life of freedom. So in my view, that trade-off is definitely worth it. But I guess the key to this, Sadie, is to view this as an investment in your future. The returns, both financial returns, but also in terms of the lifestyle, far outweigh the initial investment.
Perfect. Some great questions there, and hopefully ties up some of the frequently asked questions that we hear, especially people that are about to join the Masterclass program. So we're now going to highlight a review that we've had in from a listener of the podcast. And this actually came in through a comment underneath a YouTube video. So thank you to Russell PLMR for sharing your thoughts of the podcast. And he shared his thoughts on the recent episode we did with a member, Suraj, which is episode number 45 of the podcast. And Russell said, everything that Suraj says about why this course was legitimized is 100% correct. I'm so glad I am on the Masterclass journey as well.
Thank you so much for your review, Russell. We're really glad to hear you've been enjoying the podcast. Thanks for tuning in to this special episode. Remember, this is your chance to join a community of trailblazing entrepreneurs and to start your journey to financial and time freedom. So enter the competition, and who knows, we might be celebrating your success story next.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast. We hope you're walking away with insights and inspiration.
To kickstart your e-commerce journey, grab a copy of my book, The Home Turf Advantage, at htabook.com. It's a distilled guide based on real experience to help you build your e-commerce venture.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more strategies and success stories. And if you like what you heard, a 5-star review would mean the world to us, and you might just get a shout out on an upcoming episode.
And finally, thank you for deciding to spend your time with us today. We can't wait to bring you more insights on the next episode of the Dropship Unlocked podcast.